Let's be brutally honest, if South Korea and Singapore went to war, would Singapore even stand a chance? South Korea has one of the biggest and strongest militaries in Asia. How about Singapore? A tiny city-state with no strategic depth and a military the size of a high school football team. But some people actually believe Singapore could hold its own against Korea. Are they delusional? Or is there something we're missing? Let's find out. But be warned, this is going to get controversial. 1. Military strength, a massive difference. Let's compare raw power, and this is where things get embarrassing for Singapore. South Korean military, a real war machine, 500,000 plus active soldiers, not counting 3 million reserves K2 Black Panther tanks, one of the most advanced in the world, F-35 stealth fighters and KF-21s, cutting-edge air dominance ballistic missiles with 800 kilometers range, meaning they can strike targets far beyond their borders, a navy that dwarfs most European countries' fleets. Now let's look at Singapore. Singapore military, small but high-tech. But is that enough? 72,000 active troops, basically one South Korean city's police force. Leopard 2 SG tanks, solid, but far fewer in number. F-15 SG fighters, high quality, but vastly outnumbered. Stealth frigates, but against Korea's destroyers? Good luck. Here's the cold truth, if South Korea really wanted to, they could wipe Singapore off the map in days. But would they? 2. War scenarios, how long could Singapore last? Realistically, Singapore has zero chance of launching an invasion of South Korea. So let's be fair and assume this fight happens on neutral ground, maybe in the South China Sea. Scenario 1, South Korea's fleet crushes Singapore's navy. Singapore's navy is high-tech but tiny, they wouldn't last in a long fight. Korea's destroyers and submarines could cut off Singapore's supply lines within days. Singapore's best strategy? Run and hide. Scenario 2, dogfight in the sky. Singapore's pilots are some of the best trained in the world, but can skill beat numbers. Korea's stealth fighters, F-35s, would dominate any open-air battle. Singapore's best hope? Hit first, run fast, and pray. Scenario 3, cyber and asymmetrical warfare. Singapore is known for top-tier cyber capabilities. Could they hack Korea's defense systems? But here's the problem, South Korea has been facing North Korean cyber attacks for decades. Their systems are battle-hardened. Reality check, Singapore can disrupt Korea, but not stop them. 3. The brutal verdict: South Korea wins if they use their overwhelming air and naval power to dominate the battlefield. They blockade Singapore, cutting off its resources, because Singapore relies entirely on imports to survive. Singapore wins if they somehow avoid direct confrontation and use cyber warfare to weaken Korea's systems. They convince allies like the US to step in before it's too late. But let's be completely honest, Singapore's best strategy in a war with Korea is simple: speech bubble, don't fight in the first place. And here's where it gets really controversial: is Singapore's military actually overrated? Does high-tech gear matter if you don't have the manpower to use it? Could Korea simply starve Singapore out without even firing a shot? Now it's your turn. Who do you think would win? Is Singapore stronger than people think, or is it completely outmatched? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, this is going to be a heated debate. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell.